This happens with many people where they know what happens at the end of the Bible. They know what happens at the end of the story. And so they know one day everything will be okay. There's a day that Christ returns and redeems the cosmos and the universe and the earth and brings goodness back into it. A day where there's no more violence or wars or countries fighting for who's in power. There's one name above every name, and that day is coming. And Christians, we believe that. We understand that. That is our future hope, that we live in the now, but not yet, but it is coming. But for a lot of people, they read that and they say, I'm just going to opt out today and just wait for God to come back. That I don't really have a part to play today, that I can just have my morning devotionals with God and God alone. But going out into the world and this affecting my relationships and the schools that I go to and the communities that I find myself in and the families that I'm in, I don't really need that, because one day God's just going to make all things right. This is why I love N.T. Wright's 5-act framework. Because in Act 5, we see that because God has redeemed us, He calls us to live out what it means to be the people of God in this specific community that He calls us to, which is the church. When you go into the world, you and I have been called to play out a part. The story of God calls the people of God to be participants. The story of God calls the people of God to be participants. So if the box top picture is that God pursues a lost people to restore His presence in a broken world, that means when you go out into the world, that is the picture that you have in mind as you engage the world. When you read the headlines, that is the picture that you have in mind as you engage the world. When you get into politics, that is the picture that you have in mind as you engage the world. That the story of God is a God who pursues a lost people to restore His presence in a broken world. Which means, in Act 5, when Jesus says the greatest commandment, all the acts, all the laws, all the commandments, they're fulfilled in this one commandment, that you shall love the Lord with all your heart, mind, and soul, and you shall love your neighbor as yourself. It is not a script that has been handed to you as an actor to memorize. It has been handed to you so that you can play it out in your lives today. Far too many of us were good at memorizing scripts but not playing our part. Act 5, the commissioning of the church invites us to play our part, to be faithful witnesses to Jesus.